Let's talk about it on Detroit Hot Radio. 2 hours of conversation ranging from politics, relationships, sports, and of course, Detroit musical artists. If it's a hot topic, we talk about it. Now here's your host, a musician and entertainer for over 50 years, T. Pablo.
Good evening and welcome to Detroit Hot Radio. Let's talk about it. I'm your host, T. Pablo. We got an interesting show. We have Grammy-nominated vocalist Joan Belgrave. We're excited to have this show for you today. Hello, caller. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. What's your name?
Hey.
Who is this, Joan?
It is.
We have Miss Joan Belgrave. She's a Grammy-nominated artist. She's also the wife of the great legend trumpeter Marcus Belgrave. So how you doing, Joan?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you? Thank you for having me on, first of all.
You're welcome. I got your bio from our producer, Andrea. I was freaking blown away. A lot of people know who you are. A lot of people just don't know.
I stayed in the background with Marcus, helping him a lot. It's funny because a lot of people, especially while I was in New York for the last couple of years, helping my daughter raise grandbabies, twins, since Marcus passed. And a lot of Marcus's New York people didn't even know that I sang because typically when I was with him, helping him, the focus was on him.
And so you was the dutiful wife and you just let it be what it was and you wait your turn. Is that it?
Yeah, well, you know, it's all in God's time. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen.
No wine until it's time.
There you go.
Joan, it is said on your bio that you started your music career at 3.
Yeah, it's really, music has always been a part of my life. When I was a little girl, I can remember singing. My mother was a singer. She was R&B singer. So she always encouraged me to sing, and she always had music playing in the house. So we listened to Rita and Lou Rawls and John Lee Hooker and all of that stuff. But when I was about 3 years old, back in the day in Michigan, people think that I'm from California because when I came on the scene, I had just moved back from California, but I grew up in Ann Arbor. Back in the day, our parents didn't go to bars. They did, but not as much. They had house parties. During the weekend, it would be at different people's houses, different of their friends. Everybody would get together and they'd eat and drink and play cards and just have a good time. And the kids would go with them. You know, they would take the children with them. There was no babysitter and we're going out. There would be a room where all of the kids would have their little 45s and we'd have our candy and our food and have fun in there. Well, my mother would always come and get me out of the kids' room, put me on a little soapbox and play the music on the stereo, and she and I would sing. So from my very, very young age, I remember singing with my mom.
Now, we got some music of yours. Obviously, people want to hear it. I love that holiday song. But listen, I need to say this because this is mind-blowing for a lot of people that don't know. When you were in the first grade, your talent was spotted by Dr. Willis Patterson, professor of classical music at the University of Michigan, and gave you private vocal training. And from the age 6 to 11, you sang in the children's choir at church. You won several talent shows in middle school. In high school, you sang with the choir. After graduating, you entered the prestigious Interlocution International Music Academy.
Studying classical music, classical voice.
Wow, that's something. I mean, I can go on. This resume is unfreaking believable. People do want to hear some music, so we'll get back at that. We got 4 songs of yours. We got Santa, Baby, like I was saying, I like. We have Say You'll Be Mine. You know that's my jam. That plays on Detroit Radio. I'm a blues guy. You know
the blues.
You know I got blues. You got all, like you said, you're classically trained. You sing across all spectrums of music, all genres. Another one is called Don't Get Around Much Anymore and Excitable.
Duke Ellington.
Yeah, Duke Ellington. What I would like to start off with is your blues number. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay.
Sure. Say You'll Be Mine. Actually, I had this CD recorded when I was in California. I spent 30 years in California, and when I moved back to Detroit, when I met Marcus, I had this CD done already, and he bought the CD, and he was like, This song is called Say You'll Be Mine. It was written by a friend of mine named Mel Nelson. He played guitar. Donnie Beck and Ronnie Beck, they're twins. One's a bass player, one's a drummer. Donnie played not only the bass, but he played the B3 organ. And tenor saxophonist was a young man named Scott Barnhill.
All
And
right.
Marcus was like, who are these musicians?
Oh boy, you know how Marcus is. You got to
Right.
your
He's
A
like,
game.
who are these musicians? And who produces? You know, it was really cute for him to say that song.
He must have liked them, huh?
He liked the CD is called Variations. And the reason I called it Variations is because at the time, saying, like you said, multiple genres, I still do. I didn't want to just do one thing. I had written a country western tune that's on there. There's blues on there. There's jazz. There's a gospel tune on there called God's Gonna Make It All Right. It was called Variations. And he's like, dang, you're all over the place, ain't you? I'm like, yeah, I am. You know, I'm a singer. You can't define me. Don't try to define me. I sing.
I hear you on that. We're going to listen to Say You'll Be Mine.
Pablo's favorite.
You already gave us a lot of info on that song, but what we like to do is play the song, and then you come back and tell us how that song came about, how it's put together, stuff like that.
Okay.
So if there's any more
Sounds
you want
good.
to say about it after we play it, that's cool. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to Say You'll Be Mine by Joan Belgrave, and we'll be right back after this.
More music that you know and love from the artists that you love to know. Detroit's home. The local artists are always first. DetroitHotRadio.com.
I've searched the whole world over, trying forever to find someone to help me put the meaning back in my life. I've climbed the hills and the mountains, ocean so blue, travel 1,000 roads, they all lead me right back to you. I was confused from the very start, but now I'm asking you straight from my heart. And baby, let's start over, yeah. I'll be your woman, your best friend. Give you all the love you've been missing. Say you'll be mine, baby, let's try this again. I'll be that rose on your pillow. If you just open your eyes, I want to show you what I'm thankful for you in my life. We'll share our love and the joy it will bring. I'm just asking for this one little thing, yeah. And baby, let's start over. We'll do it right from the very start. We'll build that highway to heaven. Nothing will tear this love apart. Won't you say you'll be mine? We'll make it work this time. I'll be your woman, baby, won't you be mine? Won't you say you'll be mine, yeah. We'll share a love and the joy joy it will bring. I'm just asking for this one little thing. And baby, let's start over. You'll be mine. We'll do it right from the start. We'll build that highway to heaven.
Come on.
Nothing will tear this love apart. Won't you say you'll be mine? We'll make it work. Gotta make it work this time. I'll be your woman. Won't you be mine? Please say you'll be mine. Won't you say you'll be mine? We'll make it work. Gotta try hard this time. Baby, 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 won't you be mine? Won't you say you'll be mine? Won't you say you'll be mine? I'll be your one. Baby, won't you?
Adult R&B and hip hop with a touch of jazz. Nobody does internet radio like Detroit Hot Radio.
All right, Joan.
I'm here.
Yeah, that song. Phew. That's emotional, man. That song, you know, if I was breaking up with my girl and she started singing that song, I give up. You got me back.
Yeah, well, you know, for me, music is something that has to come from deep inside, from some kind of emotional feeling. You have to be able to feel it in order to interpret it, and hopefully if you do that, then people listening to it will feel your spirit and will touch them and touch something inside them.
Yeah. I know you touched on that song, but I need to know, how did you come up with that song?
It was written actually by a friend of mine, and I was in California. His name is Mel Nelson. I was managing a recording studio that actually Tony Bennett came in to record. That's how I met Tony Bennett. Mel came in, and he was doing a play at the Kennedy Center called Diary of a Slave Girl. He asked me to do some vocals on the session, and I wrote, actually another one of his songs is on here. It's called Ain't No Shame. In the course of me doing his Diary for a Slave Girl, he had this blues. He said, Joan, can you sing blues? I'm like, you just don't know, baby. My mama loved the blues. And I always like to say, I was named after my mother. Her name was Joan, but they always called her Joanne because she was sassy. I always like to say, when I sing the blues, Joanne comes out, because I feel Mama's spirit just moving and grooving inside me. But Mel Nelson is a wonderful songwriter, and he wrote that song for me, Say You'll Be Mine. We collaborated on it. So when I went to do this project, I'm like, Mel, I need to record this song. He's like, okay. The words were written by a lady named Janet Cole Valdez. When you find something that you can feel, because I felt that.
I was reading your bio. I'm paraphrasing. When Marcus first heard you, you blew him away, and you began to tour. He didn't want to let you go. You began to tour with him, and you began to produce for him, and manage.
Yeah.
You begin to do a lot of things. We'll get to that. We want to make sure that we get some of this great music in. Because you do a lot of genres, we decided to do different genres. This next song, of course, is jazz. And you are more, what's the lack of a better term, jazz is your most favorite thing to perform.
Well, actually, gospel is.
Oh, actually, gospel is. We don't do.
Yeah,
you didn't send us a gospel.
Is.
You didn't give us a gospel.
I know. I didn't send you a gospel tune. Yeah, it's so funny because when I met Marcus, I was singing jazz, and I produced the gospel show for my cousin Hazelette Crosby. But Marcus heard me sing gospel, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Gospel is a whole different thing because God takes over.
If you don't like gospel, you got a hole in your soul, and you need to go home.
Yeah. And gospel is the basis for blues, and all of that. So that's my base. I grew up singing. My mom made us go to church, and I remember being 6 years old and singing lead in the choir at church. So gospel is in the root of everything I do. So no matter whether it's jazz or blues or R&B or whatever it is, gospel is in my root of everything I do. So yeah, this next tune, I'm assuming it's Don't Get Around Much Anymore. Is that the one that?
Yeah.
Or what are we playing?
That's it.
Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to Don't Get Around Much Anymore by Joan Belgrave, and we'll be right back after this.
Adult R&B and hip-hop with a touch of jazz. Nobody does internet radio like Detroit Hot Radio.
Miss the Saturday dance. Heard they crowded the floor. Life's so different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd go to the club. Got as far as the door. They'd have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Oh, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease. But nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates. Could have gone, but what for? Life's so different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Saturday dance. Heard they crowded the floor. Life's so different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd go to the club. Got as far as the door. They'd have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. My mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on days. Could have gone, but what for? I can't take it without you. Don't get around much anymore. I can't take it without you. Don't get around much anymore.
Join in on today's topic at 313-879-1049. That's 313-879-1049. You're listening to Let's Talk About It with T. Pablo on Detroit Hot Radio, the heart and soul of Detroit music.
That song was great.
Conversation going on. Thank you.
That song was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I must haven't hearing you like I should have. I don't know why I'm so surprised how great. You know, I've heard you sing many times. I thought you were fantastic, but something about these songs right now, your voice is really, really strong and it's really, really nice.
Well, you know, now, we had fun.
Now, I want to ask you a question. You know? Is Charlie Gabriel on there?
Absolutely. That's him playing tenor saxophone.
And Marcus.
Absolutely. And Marcus.
Wait, now, I'm guessing. I'm trying to say. I hear they song. I know how they sound. Right? I'm trying. Now, the keyboard player. Tell me that's Harold McKinney.
No, no. That's interesting that you would say that. Though this is a young man. His name is Sullivan Fortner, and at the time he was unknown, and he was one of Marcus's students at Oberlin. I was walking by the studio one day at Oberlin, Ohio. Marcus taught at Oberlin. And I heard this young man playing in the studio. I'm like, who is that? And Marcus said, oh, that's Sullivan. He's from New Orleans. I'm like, okay, I need to get this boy recorded because once he graduates, the sky's going to be the limit. And everything has happened just as I thought it would. He's graduated from Oberlin and immediately went to work with Roy Hargrove.
Oh, wow.
And has been with Roy Hargrove for the longest. He's recorded with Paul Simon.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he's amazing. And he is just still the sweetest, most humble, most talented young man that I remember from back then. He's had good home training. So yeah, that's Sullivan Fortner on the keys.
Well, obviously he's talented if I thought he was Harold McKinney.
You did?
He did a run that I only heard Harold do. You probably seen Harold go from opposite ends of the piano and do some fast runs and his fingers meet up and then he go right back out. You ever see him do that?
No, but you know, it's that New Orleans training.
That's
what it is. It's that New Orleans training for Sullivan. Yeah. You know, he was surrounded by Ellis Marcellus, his father, and people like that, you know, and plus Sullivan, he grew up playing in the church, so he's got that undertone, soulful groove about him. Yeah. That song is off of the Grammy-nominated Excitable CD.
Okay. I got some inboxes that said that blues song was off the chain.
Hey, ain't nothing like the blues.
Ain't nothing like they say that blues song.
It touches everybody. It crosses through and reaches inside and pulls that out. And I love me some blues. That's why I love singing my Dinah Washington show, which Dinah's going to be a part of my show coming up on December 19th at the Charles Wright Museum. So I'll be doing Christmas stuff, but I'll also be doing some stuff from Dinah and Billy on that show. So you know there's going to be some blues in there.
Let me read some of your bio here. According to this bio, you have been noted as Detroit's gifted jazz singer, They say you're known for your soothing voice, which we just heard, and you have performed in historic venues like Baker's, the Jazz Cafe, Music Hall, Dirty Dog, Fillmore Theater, Orchestra Hall, Detroit Opera House. Nationally, you have performed at the famed Dizzy's Club in New York, the Metropolitan Room, and your international travels have taken you to Toronto Jazz Festival. You did the A La Villette in Paris. You did the Ascana Jazz Festival in Switzerland. And in addition to your trademark jazz sound, you have sung blues, as you said, blues, gospel, big band, standards, and contemporary R&B. The Jazz Review magazine calls you a class act and a beautiful talent. In 1968, Joan released her first CD entitled Emotions Blue. It was a tribute to Billie Holiday. Then in 2003, you released Variations, what we talked about. And during this period, as you said, you served as manager of a recording studio in San Jose, California, where you gained a great production experience. You've worked with a lot of kids that are now grown. You have children of your own that are now grown. It said that... And
grandchildren.
Yeah. You don't look like it. I'm telling you right now. If I had just met you, I would have thought you was early 40s at the most.
Oh, Lord, thank you.
Yeah. Then it says it was at this time that you moved back to Detroit and built a jazz singing career. You traveled across the country internationally with Marcus, and for 40 show dates, 2 separate tours, the Louis Armstrong tribute.
Yeah, that was the Louis Armstrong show and New Orleans show.
Yeah. It says here that you have produced 7 albums, 5 with your late husband, Marcus Belgrave. You also recorded tributes to Billie Holiday, Ray Charles, Louis Armstrong. You sung with people like Regina Carter, Charlie Gabriel, Kirk Lightsey, Jerry Allen, James Carter, Don Was, Carmen London. I mean, it goes on and on. Who knew? Oh my God. It's funny. People with big talent, big experience, never say a word. People with little talent, little experience is boasting.
I'm going to tell you something I used to tell my boys. My boys played football when they were little. Well, not just my boys. My daughter was a gymnast, too. And one of the things I used to tell the kids, let your game speak for you. You don't have to do a lot of boasting and talking. What you do on the field, what you do at the match will speak for you. So just let your game talk for you. That's my philosophy. I like to let my game talk for me.
That's a good way of looking at it. It really is. We got 2 more songs.
Can I mention something?
You can say anything you want to. Let me say this. If somebody say, where can Joan Belgrave sit? I'm going to say anywhere she want to. So go ahead.
You know, I'm going to be doing a couple shows in Detroit with jazz master Kirk Lightsey, who is 80 years old. He toured with Marcus and I, and it's a homecoming for Kirk. Well, we'll be in New York also on December 13th at the Walker Hotel in the Village. And I'm just blown away that we're going to be there. And so Kirk, who living in Paris for 25 years, he said, I want to come home. So I said, okay. So I put this together, and he will be at Cliff Bell's on December 17th, 7 p.m. show. I don't know if there's tickets left. You can find out from Cliff Bell's about it, but it's going to be a great show. I will be his guest on his show, but I am just so honored to be on stage with this giant jazz master. He also will join me on Tuesday, December 19th. I'm doing a holiday show, which I think we're going to play something from my holiday CD at the Charles Wright Museum of African American History. And that theater, I just can't wait to be in there because I had this painting installed in the theater of Marcus.
It's there. Everybody has seen it, yeah.
So Marcus is going to be looking down on me, and it's going to be, and Kirk has never seen it, so I'm really excited for him. I've got Dwight Adams on trumpet, and Jallo Jakate on drums, and Jaribu Shaheed on bass. So we're going to have a really, really good time, and I hope you come out.
Matter of fact, make sure you give us all the information so we can promote it on Detroit Radio. Marcus is homegrown.
It was at Greater Gray Church.
I remember the band coming in and James Carter.
That was the fundraiser. I started the Kresge Foundation contacted me and asked they wanted to do something for Marcus. That's when I had the painting put up there.
That was an awesome event.
Funny you should mention that because a week ago, the wonderful Carl Craig DJ, I just recently listened to the recording of that concert. The recording of that concert, the CD was recorded so that it could be a fundraiser for the scholarship fund. And so I just listened to a couple tracks on that because I haven't really been able to listen to anything, with regard to Marcus until recently. And of course, I was producing that concert. So when you're producing the concert, you don't get a chance to really sit and listen to all the music. I sat and listened to that show, and I cannot wait for that CD to come out. Really, you guys are going to be blown away because it has Jerry Allen and Kareem Riggins, Marion Hayden, Galen McKinney, Dwight Adams, Theo Croker, James Carter. I listened to them playing Space Odyssey. Woo!
Felt like he was in space, huh?
That was Marcus's signature big hit. And,
I know. I know.
To hear them play that with the love, you could feel the love for Marcus coming out while they were playing it. I'm really excited to get that project out. So God willing, keep fingers crossed and hands together in prayer for me that it will happen. I'm stepping out on faith that it's going to happen.
You know, when we were teenagers, it was me, Gregory Cook, and Kenny Garrett, who played with Miles Davis. We were in Marcus's New Detroit Jazz Ensemble. We was the youngest three cats in there. The rest of the guys were like Marcus' age, and it was all tough guys and stuff.
Right.
I'll never forget that experience. It was that big band experience. I'll just never forget that. That was just too awesome.
There's nothing like having young cats sit next to old cats.
I know.
You know, I mean, there's just nothing like it, because that wisdom, I tell people, the lessons that you learn are not the 1 hour lessons that this person is going to give you, but the lessons that you learn are hanging out with that person and letting those little drops of wisdom fall down and let your ears be open and your heart. It's just invaluable. You can learn so much in the classroom, but being on the bandstand, being in the car, eating after the gig with all of the guys and ladies and that have been there and done that, that's where the school is. That's where it is.
This next song, Excitable. Yeah, we're going to play this.
Okay.
This song, ladies and gentlemen, is called Excitable by Miss Joan Belgrave, and we'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
What you do to me, so excitable, how you set me free.
Come on.
The more I do, the more I see, so excitable to me. Oh, excitable that this life could be, so excitable, what a joy for me. You've opened eyes that could not see, so excitable to me. Oh, I free. You and I were meant to be. So excitable to me. Oh, it's excitable. So excitable. Oh, it's excitable to me.
Adult R&B and hip-hop with a touch of jazz. Nobody does internet radio like Detroit Hot Radio.
Your voice is fantastic, man. I'm just blown away. I can imagine what your show gonna be like. But
Well, December 19th, a free concert at the Charles Wright
What?
Museum. Come on out. But, you know, I wrote that song for Marcus.
you wrote the song that just played?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
And that song is about he and I. He said to me, we were having coffee at a coffee shop on Kirchville, and he said to me, "You're so excitable." And I said, "Yeah, you know, you're right, I am." And he went in the bathroom to wash his hands, and when he came out, I had written this song.
You kidding me?
No, that song was a song to Marcus that I wrote for him. That's the name of that tune. You know, like you say, I do a lot of stuff, but there's something that I'm really excited about that I want to mention to you. One of the things that Marcus and I talked about was that there was no place in Detroit where people who come to Detroit can hear Motown music. You know, there's a lot of music in Detroit. There's jazz, there's blues, there's rock and roll, all of the stuff, you know. But there's not a place where people come in, they go to the Motown Museum. There's not a place where they can hear the music that made Detroit famous. And so a friend of mine just recently purchased a club downtown called Cobo Joe's. And I don't know if you all know that, but Cobo Joe's is a sports bar right next to Cobo Hall on Congress. When we talked, I said, well, you know, let's put some Motown music in there. So I'm really excited that I'm booking some Motown music in Cobo Joe's down on Congress starting in December. So every Saturday in December 2nd, I think 9th, and whatever the other consecutive Saturdays are, the Motown music is going to be featured. So please spread the word. I got Jerome Spearman, a Motown Funk Brother drummer who played with Marcus, who was down in Studio One over there on the boulevard. Robert Jones, piano, Motown Funk Brother Groove is going to be in there. Every Saturday for December coming up will be Motown music at Cobo Joe's. And please, please spread the word. Come on out. The food is delicious. Starting at 8 o'clock. We're going to just have some good times. It's not going to be my show. I'll be stepping in. But they've got the Stub-Sisters going to be doing one of the nights. And please come out and support. I think the cover charge is only $5 because I'm just trying to get this started. But pass the word. Y'all want to party. Y'all want to hear some live music. Y'all want to hear Motown music. The stuff we grew up with. The stuff that my mother grew up singing and playing for me as a kid. Come on down and support it and enjoy it.
You know, you ain't no joke. You need your own radio show. But I want you to come back on soon before that happens and just let everybody know what's going on about that.
Okay.
This last song, Santa Baby, we saved it because the holiday season's coming up and people are going to be in the mood. So we'll be right back after we hear Santa Baby by Miss Joan Belgrave. We'll be right back.
Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, an SCL convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Ooh, think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want a yacht, and really that's not a lot. I've been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one little thing I really need, the deed to a platinum mine. Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, and fill my stocking with the duplex and checks. Sign your name on the line, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Ooh, come and trim my Christmas tree with some decorations bought at Tiffany. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a ring. And I don't mean on the phone, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby.
Adult R&B and hip-hop with a touch of jazz. Nobody does internet radio like Detroit Hot Radio. The most music 24/7 by all your local favorites like Anita Baker, Michael Henderson, Kim,
So how did you find your way back in
and the Dramatics. If they're from Detroit, they're heard here on Detroit Hot Radio.
All right.
Well, yeah. That, we were just talking about putting the youngsters together with the older cast on that whole project, that Christmas project. It's called Merry Christmas Baby. That was Marcus Elliott on tenor and Marcus Belgrave on trumpet. So the two of them were having their musical conversation. Michael Malice is another youngster. He was on piano there, but paired with Ibrahim Jones on bass and
That was Ibrahim
Gail
on bass?
McKinney on drums. Yes, sir. Ibrahim Jones is on bass on that whole project.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a Detroit thing.
He's a genius on that bass.
He is. And it's so funny. I was just looking at some words that I wrote in The Excitable, and can I just end this with, Marcus insisted that I put that CD out. I really didn't want to put it out because it wasn't finished, and you know how there's some stuff I wanted to add, some songs I wanted to do, da-da-da-da-da. But he insisted that I put that out. And I'm so glad that I listened to him because now I have it. And if I hadn't put it out, it probably would still be sitting on the shelf. Something that I wrote to him in the Excitable CD in my thank you. It says, "To my wonderful husband and partner, Marcus, there are no words to explain We speak a language of musical love that few will ever experience. Yes, I'm a hopeless romantic. A big thank you to your father, the original Mr. Belgrave, for making you listen to and really hear vocalists. And that's the difference between what Marcus does and those that he taught and other horn players. He listened to vocalists and he sings with his horn. For me, I can actually hear him singing the lyrics.
I know you can.
With the horn.
Yeah.
When you have someone who is so in tune to what the music is supposed to say, that they're not wrapped up in themselves, but trying to put out there what the song is saying. It just makes all the difference in the world. And I can hear it in every song that he recorded. I can hear his voice.
I know you can.
Thank you for playing that.
Well,
and come on out and hear our Christmas show on December 19th. And, there's a lot of good things happening in the D. On December 17th, Cliff Bell's come out and hear Kirk Lightsey. If you're in New York, I'll see you on December 13th. With Cliff and Santi DiBriano on bass. Lord have mercy, I'm so excited. He is a monster. He recorded with Marcus, and he's just, you talk about a monster on the bass. He's incredible, so I'm excited about that gig in December 13th, too.
Okay, well, we're down to the end of the show. It was so nice, so nice to have you on the show. We really appreciate that you took time out of your busy schedule to pay us a visit. And I, like most everybody, were pleasantly surprised by your talents and your dedication to the craft. So we out of here. Thanks a lot.
You.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for having me, and just go on joanbelgrave.com if you want to know what I'm doing and what I'm up to. Love you much. Enjoy music. Enjoy life.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Let's Talk About It with T. Pablo.
I love me some Detroit. I can't get enough of this city. G.B. Cortez, McGee. Let's do it. I'm from 6 Mile and I'm from that PA too. 3 years on Joy Road, yeah, I stay there too. I'm a West Sider, and I rep that well. And I rock on the East Side when I need that there. You can tell I'm from Detroit, I speak with Abdo language. When you see my fitted cap, it got that OD painted. I'm from the city where you get a whole pizza for $5. Days low for already told y'all don't try us. We got lions and tigers, so bears don't shot us. We make the whole world move, do not deny us. Barry Gordy's blueprint tattooed on my brain. When I'm out of town, people they respect from where I came.
Okay, you can tell it all day. I'm from Detroit, baby.
Detroit.
Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby.
Detroit.
Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby. Okay, you can tell it all day. I'm from Detroit, baby. Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby. Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby.
4 o'clock in the morning, chili fries and cheese, but be careful, that's one of the hottest spots in the D. Go downtown, a lot about the pop in the D. We got the new Red Wing thing going up. My city fell off, but now it is going up. I moved out to Atlanta for about 8 years. Then I realized I can do the same thing here. Everybody in my ear like, why you go back there? It's just something about Cartier frames on my face. Light peach tints engraved on my face. Even though I'm from the city where they known to hate, I still get buckets like I'm Golden State.
Okay, you can tell it all day. I'm from Detroit, baby.
Detroit.
Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby.
Yes, I am.
Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby. Okay, you can tell it all day. I'm from Detroit, baby. Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby. Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby.
What up, though? That's the code, though. Old English D, that's the logo. Come off of Jefferson, the fists and the Cobo. And one day you will get the rain, sleet, and the snow. Weather unpredictable, people hating every day. I don't care still, this the place where I stay. This the place where my head on the pillow, it will lay. Every time I get up, I say, man, amen, I made it another day, man. For me to not to see 25, man, that was they plan. It could just be me and I go against 8, man. Making so many moves, people think that I break dance. Every time you start up a car or get in it, the world does not move if Detroit is not in it. You can tell I'm from Detroit by the way that I walk, by the way that I talk, by the fact that I'm a boss.
Okay, you can tell it all day. I'm from Detroit, baby.
Detroit.
Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby.
Yes, I am.
Hey, I'm from Detroit, baby. Okay, you can tell it all day. I'm from Detroit, baby.
6 Mile, Puritan, Joy Road. That's where I'm from. Let's get it. Detroit, stand up. Yeah. One of the most important cities in the world, man. But one thing I do want to say is, y'all cowards gotta stop killing our kids and our babies, man. Let them grow up. For real. On a brighter note, I gotta say this. That's me on the beat too.